When you look at TV or the internet, you see elite athletes, wildly successful entrepreneurs, and artists with extraordinary talent. And at some point, you might have thought this. We're all human, so why is there such a huge gap? You have dreams, you have motivation, you're not doing nothing. And yet, your daily life doesn't really change. It feels like you're not moving forward. So you start asking yourself, am I just not trying hard enough? Is my willpower too weak? But here's something important. This may not be a personality problem. There is likely a real reason behind it. And if you understand this reason, the way you act from here on can change. This video is for people who feel like, I want to do better, but I can't seem to take action. I feel like I'm trying, but I'm not getting results. What you're about to learn can completely change how you see effort, motivation, and yourself. You probably don't struggle with doing the things that feel easy. Games, social media, endless scrolling. You can stay focused on those for hours. But when it comes to things that actually matter, but what about 30 minutes of studying? Yeah, that suddenly feels hard. What about spending another hour working on your side project? Not very appealing, right? Logically, you already know that studying, exercising, or building something meaningful will benefit you far more in the long run. And yet, you still end up choosing TV, games, or endless scrolling. Some people say the reason is obvious. One option is easy and requires almost no effort. The other is difficult and demands discipline. But here's the strange part. Some people can study consistently. They can exercise regularly. They can keep working on their goals. So why them and not you? And more importantly, is there a way to make hard things feel easier? To answer that, we need to look at a chemical in your brain, dopamine. Dopamine is often called the pleasure chemical, but that's not exactly true. Dopamine plays a major role in desire, and desire is closely linked to motivation and action. To understand how powerful it is, scientists once ran experiments on rats. They implanted electrodes into the rats' brains. Every time a rat pulled a lever, its reward system was stimulated. The result? The rats kept pulling the lever for hours. They refused to eat. They refused to sleep. They kept going until they collapsed from exhaustion. Then the researchers did the opposite. They blocked dopamine release. Suddenly, the rats became completely apathetic. They wouldn't even stand up to drink water. They didn't eat. They didn't seek anything. It was as if their drive to act had largely disappeared. But when food was placed directly into their mouths, they still ate and even enjoyed it. The desire was gone, not the ability. Humans appear to work in similar ways. Your brain sets priorities based on how much dopamine it expects to receive. Low dopamine activities feel boring. High dopamine activities pull you back again and again. Social media, games, and other forms of instant gratification. These are all high dopamine behaviors. The problem is that your brain adapts. To maintain balance, it reduces its sensitivity to dopamine. This is called dopamine tolerance. Over time, normal activities stop feeling rewarding. Studying feels dull. Work feels heavy. Effort feels painful. And this may not be a personal failure. A lot of it comes down to biology. I used to think I lacked willpower. I had goals, dreams, things I wanted to do. But whenever I tried to start, I suddenly felt the urge to clean, check something online, or do anything else. I couldn't focus. Then I realized it wasn't weakness. It was my brain. So I tried something simple. Just one day a week, I stopped high dopamine activities. No games, no endless scrolling, no easy stimulation. Only one day. At first it was boring, uncomfortable. But the next morning, something changed. I woke up clear-headed, motivated. I sat down, rewrote my plans, and focused for 5 straight hours. That was my first real step forward. This is dopamine detox. You don't have to go extreme. You don't have to disappear from society. Just choose one high dopamine habit and remove it for one day each week. That boredom can create space, and in that space, action often feels easier. You can even flip the system. Use high dopamine activities as rewards after the hard work is done. The order matters. Pleasure first can drain motivation. Effort first often helps unlock it. Here's the truth. It is possible to make hard things feel easier over time, but not while your brain is constantly flooded with stimulation. That's not your fault. That's how your brain works. So try it. Just one day a week. Create distance from easy pleasure, and you might finally discover what you're capable of. Where you get your dopamine from will shape your future, and that choice is yours.